this week, the term Twin Towers has taken on a new meaning. 14 feet of basketball brilliance intent on denying this city an NBA title. David Robinson. He's worked his entire professional career for an NBA championship. A championship that now may be only hours away. Tim Duncan is in just his second NBA season. But without him, there could be no ring for Robinson. Duncan has accepted that responsibility and is determined to get his running mate the prize he covets most. But if Duncan is to lead the charge toward a title for the Admiral, he'll need all hands on deck against a Knick team that has shown it will fight to the last. Tonight at Madison Square Garden, Tim Duncan, David Robinson, and the San Antonio Spurs seek their crowning achievement.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Live on the Channel 6 podcast. I am your host and 1/4 of the group, the Channel 6 group, and I am Attack Mode CEO himself. Well, I'm just going to give you guys a few minutes of my time and just give you my thoughts and perspective on Game 1 of the NBA Finals, and that being the New York Knicks versus my San Antonio Spurs. Well, within the game, it's all about matchups. Matches and mismatches. Who can get the better of each other. All signs point to everything matches up, with an exception of, I think there's one glaring issue, and that's the center position. Karl Anthony Towns versus Victor Wembanyama. I think that can be heavily exploited, whether it be inside or outside. So far, just based off of what I'm seeing from a live look-in, this it's a fast pace. That tends to favor New York for the most. My Spurs can go up and down, but it's preferred to kind of slow the game down. And that's kind of like how they operate. Keys to Game 1 would be overall, but more so for my Spurs, would be keep the turnovers down. Hit your free throws. Rebound. And stay out of foul trouble. If we can hit those keys and check those off, we're going to be fine. But we can't get into foul trouble. And when we get to the free throw line, we can't miss. And if we do miss, it just makes for a long game and for a long series. Even though those free throws are just one shot, but those points add up. So we must hit them each and every time. And also another component, bench play. That's very important. Our bench play needs to, in my opinion, step it up, because that gives our starters a time to catch a breather. So I just say, just overall in this series, if our bench can outscore the Knicks bench, this is going to be an easy series for the Spurs. The Knicks will win, in my general opinion. They're going to win 2 games. My Spurs, I think, will win in 6 games. Um, so far, for what I'm seeing, yet again, in this live watching is it's up and down. It's up and down. As I've stated before, that tends to favor the Knicks. I'm not saying my Spurs cannot go up and down with them because we actually can. But I think, personally, I think my boys like to run a half court offense, just, slow it down, slow the pace down. Uh, then we should be fine. Um, and hopefully, and barring anything else, injuries. Can't forget that because things tend to happen, you know, during a game, and then just the course of a series, anything can happen. We don't like for that to happen, but injuries is just a part of sports. Is just a part of life. So hopefully during this series, no one gets hurt. Um, yes, and the foul. Good shot, Dylan Harper. Um, I think my Spurs, once the Spurs just hit on all cylinders, offensively, defensively, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard for the Spurs to lose. It's hard. We just, even though we are young, and we are, matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, I think we're the youngest team in the league. But that doesn't mean anything because all we got to do is just get on the court and play. At the end of the day, and we have the pieces. We have the pieces to win it all. And as I've stated again, Spurs in 6. Um, we will win. And as far as tonight's game, we will win tonight's game, and that's just going to set things in motion as far as for the rest of the series. Um, I've been a diehard fan. I've been a diehard fan since Tim Duncan's rookie season, 97, 98, and I've been riding with my boys ever since. So, um, you know, so a lot of times and a lot of takes, things tend to be a little biased as far as my opinions on them on certain things, but also at the same time, if I need to give a hard take on them, I will. I see no issue doing that as well. But the way my boys is constructed overall as a unit, we are built for years to come. The only thing that gets in the way of that, of course, for those that do not know, is we're not able to keep everybody. You know, we're mostly able to sign most, but there's always that one that may end up having to get away. And I'm referring to is the gentleman by the name of De'Aaron Fox. I like him. He can ball. And as much as I would love to keep him with the team, it's just not going to happen. But the good thing is we have Dylan Harper, who's emerging, done emerged during the season and these playoffs. And now, and he's just a rookie. So he can just step right on in and take over that position and have his way. 6'5", two-way guard, can play that position that De'Aaron plays, and we won't have no issues whatsoever. We just basically just a well-oiled machine, just keep going and going. Um, the future is bright for San Antonio. And then, of course, then we have that 7'4", 7'5" freak of nature, Victor. What can I say? Um, that specimen is one of one, one of one. Inside game, outside game is a matter of fact. He's the reigning defensive player of the year. No surprise. He actually could have won the MVP, but the league decided to give it to SGA, which actually made Victor mad, which is a good thing because that just fuels his fire to make some play even better. But that's okay. The MVP is an individual award, but now we're after something way more bigger: championship, the chip. So now he has his sights and his eyes on that, which is very good. He's focused now on what's more important. Um, Again, I've said it before a few times. Spurs will win in six. But if it ends up going seven, that game seven is in San Antonio. Let me just say that. We're going to win one way or the other. 6 games or seven. I'm staying on six, but if it goes seven, we're going to win in seven. Um, I just feel so good about the direction and where San Antonio is at right now. Um, we're just in a good position. We're just in a good position to do a lot of damage in years to come. Young team, we may lose one, but there's always that one that's emerging, as I stated. But I feel so good, and I'm glad I'm a Spurs fan. And I couldn't root for a better franchise than the San Antonio Spurs. Um, well, so far, as far as the score, to let everyone know, San Antonio 25, New York Knicks 17, with a minute and 50 seconds left in the first quarter. So far, so good. Things looking very, very good for my Spurs. And not bad. We playing at a pace where we are comfortable at, which is good. That's how we want things to play at our pace. And we they can't be stopped. If we play at our pace, make them play the way we want them to play, easy win. Now the Spurs are now up 10, 27-17, and it's a timeout. Knicks. So I'm going to end this here by saying, as far as again, This game one prediction is just, of course, San Antonio will win. Score? I don't have a score, but I do know we will win. And with that, that'll just kind of dictate the rest of the series after this win tonight. And for those of you who are listening in, tuning in, I appreciate you. And as far as the fellas go, shout out to my guys, Georgia Made Marcus, Polo Smith, and Zero